In this video, we'll be describing why the flying monkeys will support the narcissist. Hi, and welcome to Feeling is Healing, where we support people who have previously felt powerless in relationships to develop self-trust in order to live happier, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. So why is this topic important? Well, it's really important because I have made a few videos on the flying monkeys before, so just to briefly say that this term came from the film The Wizard of Oz, and the flying monkeys were sent out by the witch to do the bidding on behalf of them. So it's like the abuser has their own army of people who will do their work on behalf of them, and they're all going to be against the victim or the survivor or the person that's trying to get away. And so this is really important, I think, to understand why these people are acting in this way that they're doing, because it helps you to realise that it's actually nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're bad or you've done something wrong. It's actually a reflection on them. And you will see this, I see this kind of dynamic happen all the time. It's very predictable, see it in all kinds of settings. And you will start to see it yourself, and you'll start to realise how these dynamics work, and that it's not to do with you. Because if you've already been abused for a long time and then you think, well, I'm going to say no to the abuse, I've realised that I'm being abused now and this has to stop, I'm going to stand away from it, and you quite rightly might expect that your life, you're going to get more respect from people and be treated better. And so it can be absolutely devastating, and even worse, if that's even possible, than the abuse itself, because you start to realise these true stance, like the people supporting someone who wants to destroy you. It's really heartbreaking, and it takes a lot of grieving. So I'll get on to these reasons now why these people act in the way they do, and please stay tuned, because I'll be also doing a second video on the types of responses that you can expect from the flying monkeys. Okay, so the first point to realise is that these flying monkeys are desperately dependent on the truth being a certain way. They probably, they're often very cowardly, and they look into this narcissist person who appears, not that they are powerful, but they can appear to be very powerful. And so these minions, is another word for them, they flock and they support this narcissist because they perceive the narcissist as being strong, and because they're cowardly themselves, they want to attach to this kind of figure that they are looking up to. And the second point is that if they were to listen to your truth, it requires them to really take responsibility for themselves and to face up to the truth of their own role that they've been playing in this abusive dynamic all along. And for a lot of people, they don't have the courage or the strength to stand up to that and to actually acknowledge the truth. They want to just live in denial and carry on as they are because they're quite comfortable. They're not the one being targeted. So that leads on to the third point, which is that they may fear becoming the next target, and so they would rather just stand up for the person who is the perpetrator, because they just will put their own comfort before what is right. So you're starting to see that these qualities, that it's nothing to do with you, it's a reflection on them. And if you're deciding to walk away from abuse, that you can hold your head high, because that if you're allowing yourself to be abused, that is an act of abuse. So another point, which you may not realise at the time, is that the abuser has been sowing the seeds for this moment for a long time. They know that it's quite possible that one day you're going to awaken to the fact that you're being abused, and that you will want to stand up and walk away. So they have been putting in the preparations, and they've been preempting this. So they've been dropping hints that you may be crazy, difficult, bad person, they'll portray themselves as a long-suffering victim. So they've been planting all these little seeds for a very long time, and you don't realise that. So it can be an absolute shock to see people's reactions if they're not supportive of you. So it helps to know what's going on, or what may be going on behind the scenes. Another point is we have in our society this, you know, from education, from the medical system, from the pharmaceutical system, from the media, we have this paradigm in society that you respect the elders, and it's almost like not almost enabling, it's enables abuse of kids. You know, often kids are labelled as the problem one. Another term is that you may have heard of is the identified patient, and this happens a lot in society, and it's something really that you know, well, a lot of people I think are questioning it, but it's not a popular view. You know, this is what we have in society. So let me check. Yeah, so just an example, I had just earlier today was a WhatsApp group that I'm in, and someone decided to question, you know, the people who had set up the group and expose them for being abusive. And what you see is that the person that's trying to stand up doesn't get support. So a question you can ask yourself is, you know, what is the reason? What do I want? What do I need to gain from this? Why am I standing up to this abuse? You know, am I standing up for my own needs? Am I also standing up to protect other people from being abused? Or am I standing up just because I want other people to see this person as an abuser? And you also, that's one question to ask, to know, to help you to guide your decisions. And another question is, my mind's gone blank. Am I putting my energy in the best way? Because we all have a limited amount of energy. So if you turn to someone and they immediately are dismissive or invalidating you, or they really just don't get it, do you really want to keep going on and on and on at that person, getting them to see the truth? You know, is that realistic? Or would it be better use of your time to turn to people who possibly could be more in alignment with your values and who possibly could be new sources of support? So that's just another question to ask yourself. And another, I did want to include this point as well. I've mentioned it in other videos, but divide and conquer. So another reason why these minions or these flying monkeys will support this narcissist person is because narcissist has likely engineered very covertly this kind of divide and conquer. So they'll get these people to turn against you for some reason, so the attention is away from who the true perpetrator is. And unless people are very aware and conscious and thinking for themselves about what's going on and using their own minds rather than just bowing down to this other person's agenda, then maybe that they're not realising this. So I hope you found the video useful. Please give it a thumbs up and write in the comments below any suggestions you have for future videos, and please subscribe by clicking the button above, and make sure you hit the bell so that you get the notifications of the next videos. And I will be back shortly to explain the different responses that you can expect from flying monkeys.